What if I told you that millions of workers from Asia might soon be locked out of the United States forever? And what if the countries affected aren't the ones you expect? Because today, we're looking at 7 Asian nations that Donald Trump may never allow to work in the US again. Countries already on Washington's radar, flagged for security risks, overstays, illegal employment, and political tensions. Some of these bans have quietly begun. Some have been planned before and could come back stronger than ever. And one country on this list, number 3, could shock the entire world if Trump actually pulls the trigger. Stay till the end, because the last country might face the harshest restrictions America has ever imposed. Country number 1, Pakistan. The country Trump has always seen as a security priority. Pakistan, a nation of 240 million people, a major U.S. ally in some moments, and a major U.S. concern in others. If there's one Asian country that sits directly in the crosshairs of American immigration policy, it's Pakistan. More detailed expansion. During Trump's first term, visa restrictions quietly increased. Not through headlines, not through public speeches, but through long administrative delays, extended background checks, and unexplained denials that left thousands of Pakistani applicants stuck for months. Pakistani students, especially those applying for engineering and technology degrees, began facing deep security vetting under what is known as administrative processing, a procedure where applications can be delayed for 6 to 12 months. And Pakistani workers in trucking, IT, hospitality, and small business industries found their interviews moved, rescheduled, or denied under public safety concerns. Immigration problems highlighted heavily. DHS reports consistently flagged Pakistan for visa overstays. U.S. security agencies placed more checkpoints for Pakistan-based travelers. H-1B and H-2B visas for Pakistanis saw sudden spikes in refusal. Political pressure from Trump himself repeatedly accused Pakistan of not doing enough in counterterrorism. He even suspended military aid, a move never before done by a U.S. president. If he returns, immigration analysts predict much harsher enforcement, longer background checks, reduced visa slots, fewer work permits, and possibly a freeze on certain employment categories entirely. Cliffhanger? But Pakistan isn't the only nation caught in the storm, because the next country was already warned by Washington years before Trump even ran. Country 2, Bangladesh, a country already on the U.S. watch list. Bangladesh, a fast-growing nation of 170 million people, with millions of young workers dreaming of opportunities in the United States. But it's also a country that U.S. immigration officials have kept an eye on for years. More deep explanation, U.S. visa refusal rates for Bangladesh rank among the highest in Asia. In some years, refusal rates for work visas skyrocketed above 60–70% due to concerns about overstays and illegal employment networks. In major U.S. cities like New York and Los Angeles, reports surfaced of Bangladeshi workers entering legally but working illegally in restaurants, gas stations, and delivery services. And then came the H-2B fraud cases, where several U.S. employers were caught submitting fake job contracts to bring in Bangladeshi workers for jobs that didn't exist. These cases made the Department of Homeland Security label Bangladesh as a high-risk overstay country. This label alone can trigger major consequences under Trump. Country 3, China, the biggest shock. A superpower with a supersized risk. China, the world's second-largest economy, home to 1.4 billion people, and America's biggest geopolitical rival. But during Trump's presidency, the U.S. and China reached a level of tension not seen in 40 years. Expanded storyline. Trump launched a massive trade war with China. Tariffs, sanctions, tech restrictions, nothing was off limits. Then came accusations of espionage, Chinese researchers being arrested, labs being monitored, universities being warned. The U.S. government believed Chinese nationals in tech fields might be accessing sensitive American technologies. This led to Trump limiting student visas in fields like robotics, aviation, artificial intelligence, semiconductor engineering, military-linked subjects, and thousands of Chinese students found themselves denied or stuck in administrative processing. Republican circles today are openly discussing banning Chinese nationals from certain tech corporations, blocking H-1B visas for Chinese engineers, freezing research visa categories, limiting business travel, even restricting OPT for Chinese graduates. If Trump returns with a nationalist economic agenda, China may face the toughest employment restrictions of any country on Earth, and that would shake the U.S. tech sector to the core. Country 4, the Philippines. A country America loves, but may still be hit hard. The Philippines is different. Unlike China, Pakistan, or Iran, this is a nation deeply woven into America's heart. More than 4 million Filipinos live in the United States. They serve in hospitals, care homes, restaurants, airports, cruise ships, IT firms, and government facilities. Filipinos are not just workers. They are part of the backbone of American labor. But even with these strong ties, few people remember what happened in 2019. Under Trump's earlier leadership, the U.S. quietly suspended certain work visas for Filipinos because of extremely high overstay rates. Filipino H-2B seasonal workers were blocked from entering the U.S. DHS reports placed the Philippines on the high overstay list. Embassy interviews became slower and more selective. Nursing and caregiving applicants faced deep background checks. Many Filipinos were asked for extra financial and family documentation. The Filipino community was shocked. A nation that had always been one of America's closest friends was suddenly facing severe immigration hurdles. Under Trump's current administration, 2025, with Trump back in power, immigration analysts expect more tightened rules affecting Filipinos. H-2B seasonal work visas may remain restricted. Caregiver and hospital worker visas could shrink sharply. Family-based visas may slow due to deeper screening. Student visas now require stronger proof of ties and funds. Nurses may face priority delays despite shortages. This could become one of the most painful chapters in Filipino-American immigration history, because the community contributes so much, yet remains extremely vulnerable to rapid policy changes. Country 5, Nepal, a silent victim of Trump's immigration crackdowns. Nepal, a peaceful nation at the rooftop of the world, known for Mount Everest, trekking routes, and spiritual tourism. But beneath that beauty lies a story almost no one talks about. In 2015, Nepal was devastated by a massive earthquake. Homes collapsed, families suffered. The United States offered Temporary Protected Status, TPS, a chance for Nepalis to work and rebuild their lives. But under Trump's earlier governance, TPS for Nepal was terminated. Thousands were told to prepare for deportation, even though their home country was still struggling to recover. The challenges get tougher under Trump's 2025 administration. Work visas for construction, hotels, and service industries have become harder. Student visa refusal rates have surged. Background checks for young Nepali students now take months. Embassy interview wait times are among the longest in Asia. Many Nepalis must travel to New Delhi for visa reprocessing, adding more difficulty. With Trump's current immigration tightening, Nepal may face some of the longest and toughest restrictions, quietly, silently, and without global attention. Country 6, Myanmar, Burma. Political instability equals automatic U.S. crackdown. Myanmar's crisis is unlike any other nation on this list. A military coup, mass protests, civil war, entire regions cut off from the world. In U.S. immigration policy, instability equals danger, and Trump's government has adopted a strict zero-tolerance approach toward nations experiencing internal conflict. Under Trump's current government, work visas for Myanmar nationals are almost frozen. Sanctions restrict Burmese companies and institutions. Embassy operations in Yangon remain limited. Many Burmese applicants must travel to Thailand for interviews. Humanitarian visas have slowed dramatically due to security concerns. Background checks often cannot be completed because of missing records. Under Trump's stronger enforcement style, a total employment visa ban on Myanmar would not be surprising at all. Country 7, Iran, the country that faced Trump's hardest ban and is now facing even worse. And now, we arrive at the country that suffered the hardest immigration shutdown during Trump's first presidency, and the country that is once again facing the toughest restrictions now that Trump is back in power. Iran. No country faced a tougher wall, and that wall just got higher. When Trump first introduced the 2017 travel ban, countries like Syria, Libya, Yemen, Sudan, and Somalia were hit with severe restrictions. But Iran was hit the hardest, the longest, and the most aggressively. Why? Because US-Iran tensions have been boiling for decades. Nuclear program disputes, long-term economic sanctions, military tensions in the Middle East, no US embassy presence, major political distrust. During Trump's first presidency, Iranian immigration wasn't just slowed.
It wasn't simply restricted, it was nearly wiped out completely. Real 2017-2021 context, now relevant again under Trump's new term, Iran was listed in Trump's first and second travel bans. Work visas? Suspended. Student visas? Extremely rare. Millions stuck in administrative processing. Diversity visas? Automatically denied. Family visas? Blocked at extremely high rates. Background checks? Some of the longest in the world. Iranians who dreamed of studying or working in the US.
Families separated for years. Professionals with job offers and sponsorships, all trapped in endless delays, endless rejections, endless silence. The third country nightmare, now even worse. The US has no embassy in Iran, so every Iranian must apply from Turkey, Armenia, or the UAE. But now that Trump is back in office, these third country embassies are more overloaded and more restrictive than before. This means interview wait times stretching over a year, administrative processing that can last 12 to 36 months, rejection rates increasing sharply, more background checks on even simple cases. Immigration lawyers call Iranian cases the most difficult and time-consuming in the entire US immigration system. What's happening now that Trump is president again? With Trump's second administration now active, Iran is the #1 country facing renewed, expanded, and intensified restrictions. Current and expected policies under Trump's renewed immigration stance. A near total employment visa freeze for Iranian nationals, 0 work permits, including H-1B, H-2B, L-1, and J-1 programs. Family-based immigration slowed to a crawl. Employment-based green cards nearly impossible. Student visas facing the toughest security checks in years. Additional screening on all Iranian applicants. Some cases refused automatically under security clauses. Interview availability reduced in Turkey, Armenia, and UAE embassies. If the first travel ban was a wall, what we're seeing today is a fortress, far thicker, far higher, and far harder to break through. Why restrictions are even stronger now? The geopolitical landscape has changed dramatically. Regional conflicts have grown. Cybersecurity threats are rising. Sanctions are expanding. And US-Iran military tensions are more intense than they were in 2017. This leads to tougher background checks, higher refusal rates, longer security screening, more administrative processing, more embassy scrutiny, less visa flexibility, slower family reunifications, fewer work and study pathways. For Iranian workers, students, and families, the next 4 years under Trump may be even more difficult than the last. Final emotional punch. Iran's reality under Trump today. For millions of Iranians who dream of studying in America, working in America, or reuniting with loved ones in America, Trump's return has not just closed the door, it has locked it tighter than ever before. This is the most predictable, yet the most heartbreaking restriction on this entire list. These 7 Asian countries stand at the center of the world's toughest immigration battles. With Trump back in the White House, U.S. immigration policy has entered a new, more aggressive phase. Work pathways are collapsing. Family visas are slowing to a halt. Student approvals are shrinking. and millions across Asia are being forced to rethink their future. The next 4 years are not just politics. They are the future of the American dream itself. Tell me in the comments, which country do you think will face the hardest restrictions under Trump's new term? And should America expand or cut work visas in 2025?